Good evening, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and today is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2014. This is our Chinese takeout night, so we look at China and the other BRIC countries, Brazil, India, and Russia. And then we're going to look at 5 of the Chinese stocks, 5 of my 20. So we start off with the Dow. We got very, very tight trading range in here, tighter than even we did on Monday. Less than 50-point trading range. So really the indicators haven't changed hardly at all. Basically a very tight sideways move in here. So no change in the reading there. When you look at the Nasdaq, there's no change here. The Nasdaq pulled back today, down 34.4 points. Basically covered up all of the move from yesterday. So after Monday we closed 41.21 today, 41, so we're up 5, almost 6 points over 2 days. So not a whole lot of activity there. Let's go ahead and dive into the BRIC countries. Brazil has really just chopped sideways again, not much going on in consolidation clearly here. Russia is pulled back the last 3 days. Had a little bit of a move at the end of the last week, pulled back the last 3 days. So when you look at the 16th here, we're actually up a little bit based on the 16th. But what I'm looking at, I drew this trend line in here. This could easily be a head and shoulders consolidation. Okay, up here was a head and shoulders top. Okay, and you could see that like that. Okay, shoulder, head, shoulder. It actually, got reversed in here or broke down when it pulled back up here, and it failed is the word I'm looking for. Chopped sideways and then collapsed. So I'm looking for this as a consolidation move. For this to break down, this could mean that something starts to flare up in Ukraine, and we were getting some news that sounds like some of the talks have broken down, and that Putin is saying that they've got a right to come into Ukraine, and I don't know. So sounds like some drum beating is going on over there a little bit. So we'll have to see what happens. Okay, let me pull back to this. India's continued to push higher very nicely. I think we're getting some divergence coming in on the indicators on this last little leg move. So here's where I thought maybe we're going to turn down now, but I think we're going to probably get it here. But anyway, I think the interesting thing about India is just watching the move that it's doing, and it's actually one of the best acting of these. It is the best acting of these 4 countries. So things are starting to look up for India. Gosh, I keep doing that. All right, Shanghai. Shanghai down 4 out of the last 5 days, and we got this downtrend going on from the peak here on April 10th. We've pulled back. If we've got fan line action going on, this could pull back even more down to the fan line, although this one didn't. Well, I guess it all depends on where you measure it, but this could be enough. If this turns and reverses, great. I mean, we'll just look to see. Otherwise, right now you can just say it's in a short-term downtrend, and we'll just have to continue to watch. China. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our stocks. First one is QIHO 360. 360 has been in a downtrend like many of the Chinese stocks, many of our technology stocks. Getting a little bit of a sideways move in here, but honestly, based on the downtrend action and the ADX is around 30. Well, that's not good. When you look at this window in here, the ADX is around 30 going sideways. That means there's a pretty strong trend that's in place. And so I hesitate to jump in. I would not be surprised to see this break to the downside again and come down here, at least down to the 233 SMA. Okay, QUNR. QUNR's in merger talks with C-Trip, and right now we got this symmetrical triangle going on, which, again, that's a sign investors are trying to figure out which way is this thing going to go. I wouldn't, if you get an announcement, it's going to burst this thing one way or the other. Right now, the way the 10 is broken above the 21, you'd almost have to bet maybe it's going to move to the upside. But This is not one I'm playing with options or anything. There's not the volume is not quite. It's getting up there. 50-day volumes are almost 1 million, not quite, and the history is not what I'd like to see. But we're watching it because it's one of the China stocks, and one of the China stocks that's got decent volume anyway, as compared to some that are down around 150, 200,000 shares, 50-day moving average. SOFUN. SOFUN is. This is one we got in yesterday right at the opening in here, and it looked great at the end of the day, and now we've reversed back down. Now the 10's trying to break above the 21. We could get a pullback down to the trend line in here. I'd love it if we didn't. We just keep pushing to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. We've broken this major trend line. I'd like to see that happen. That's the expectation anyway. And SOHU, I'll come back to First Solar. SOHU, again, another strong downward trend line and downward trend. Now, the thing about this, too, is when you have, like I talked about, you have a trend line that's this sharp to the downside. Breaking this just means, a spike move or some chop. I mean, you need something, as I mentioned last night, something a little bit flatter in terms of a trend line to talk about a move that's going to come out. So right now, let's see if we got a little bit of divergence coming in, not super strong, but just a little bit. So let's see, and then SINA is in this downward trending channel. Now, the interesting thing about this channel, I draw a line from here to here, okay, and then I do what I call, you can create a parallel line. There's a little tool, you just do that, and then you position it right to this point here, and it automatically generates the line parallel, so that you can see how the action has come right down to this. And then I saw this little, drew a little trend line here. We could be doing a little bit of a small head and shoulders reversal action in here. Something to watch for. The divergence that's occurring is occurring between this point here in early February, beginning of February, and here in early April. So if you're looking at the point, it's this point and into early April, into this area here. So the indicators, let me get off of this thing. The indicators did not go to a lower low with this low. So that would imply that maybe there is something valid in here in terms of a head and shoulders turnaround, something getting ready to pop and come back up to the upside. So that's my take on SINA. And then First Solar is the one that we got into today with options. We got in we were looking to get in close to the close, and actually it started to, when it opened, it immediately started to sell off a little bit, and I think we got in around 70.65 or 70.72, somewhere around in there a little bit, and in that area. So we're down a little on the close. My expectation is to see it to pull to the upside, and that's what we'll be looking for. All right, that's it for tonight. That's the rundown. I just wanted to show that trade idea in here with the rest of the stocks. So tomorrow we've got the unemployment claims at 7:30 Central Time, and durable goods are out. And that's the other big economic report coming out. So have a great Thursday, everyone. Share the post on Twitter, Facebook, or your favorite social media. Sign up for the email updates, and again, it gives you access to the Trade Ideas web pages also. So just fill out the little form, first name and email. You're good to go. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Have a great Thursday. Thanks for stopping by.